Alrighty, good Friday evening, Arkansas. This is Chief Forecaster Cameron back here once again, here to give you guys your live stream for tonight. Before I go into anything, check me out on the audio levels here. Let me know in the comments if you guys are seeing the audio. Well, not seeing the audio, hearing the audio across the board here. So I'm seeing it on my side, but I'm just doing a quick test just to make sure everybody can hear me before I get started. Right now, we don't have anything going on. I'm seeing some comments about, is it going on right now? There's nothing going on at this point, but I'm going to be talking to you guys about what's going to be happening later on tonight and especially for tomorrow here. So just want to make sure that you guys can hear me before I get started here, and I'm thinking that we're good in terms of the audio, okay? So we're going to go ahead and get started here. So right now, temperatures are pretty warm across the board. I've been talking to you guys about this over the last couple of evening updates, how we've had temperatures in the 40s and 50s. Now we've got them in the 60s and there's 70 degrees down here in southwest Arkansas. So you have this warm front that's going to move north overnight, and you have this storm system that's going to pivot to the northeast, and that's what's going to result in a few supercells that could get going here. Now, I want to make this a disclaimer. We're not expecting this to be a widespread March 31st tornado outbreak like that. I want to make that perfectly clear. Yes, the potential of a tornado is on the table for tonight, and I want you guys to be aware. However, I don't want anyone thinking that this is going to be a massive tornado outbreak over the next day or so. So I'm going to break it down, go over everything at this point. But right now, we don't have much on the board. We do have a few scattered showers up here in southeastern Kansas, southwest Missouri. That's what's going to lead to some thunderstorm activity that you guys are going to see in futurecasts coming up in a little bit. That's going to start northwestern Arkansas, and it's going to push its way into western Arkansas, and then it's going to push its way into central and into eastern Arkansas here. So let's kind of break this down and go over what to expect there. So right now, you guys saw this earlier on, the marginal risk for much of the state. I don't want anyone seeing this and thinking nothing's going to happen tonight. That tornado threat is there, and a large shell threat is there for tonight. Timing appears to be 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. That's going to be the biggest area that I'm going to kind of keep an eye on. Now, a couple of things. This is going to be an isolated threat. Not every single person is going to see severe weather tonight. Let me make that clear. Not everyone on the board is going to see severe weather. It's going to be in isolated areas that do see some thunderstorms, while others, you may be completely dry tonight into tomorrow morning here. Now, I do want to go over timing here, so give me just 1 second. Let's go over to the timing map real quick. And this is what I have. So this is what I mean. Not every single person in that marginal risk is going to see thunderstorms tonight. And if you do see thunderstorms, it's not a 100% guarantee that it's going to be severe. So we're going to monitor it closely. I'm going to go over futurecasts coming up in a little bit. I know everyone has their questions and stuff right now. I'm going to get over to those questions here in just a little bit as well. But I've got to break down all this information here. So 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is the time frame that I'm looking at here. Now, in terms of initiation, that is still uncertain. Some folks up there, northwestern Arkansas, could see it. It could start in west central Arkansas. That's something that we're going to monitor over the next couple of hours here. But I want to make this perfectly clear because I know there's a lot of people that are tuning in right now. This is not going to be an outbreak. This is not going to be March 31st 2.0. Let me make that perfectly clear. This is going to be an isolated event in western Arkansas into central Arkansas to who could see the potential of an isolated supercell or two. The bigger threat will be tomorrow, and I think that bigger threat is going to range probably from central Arkansas into eastern and into southern Arkansas here. So I want to make that clear at this point. Now, before I get into tomorrow, this is very, very, very important. I mean, very, very important. If we're live tonight or at some point tomorrow, you have to know where your counties are, guys. It's not bashing anyone or anything like that. You have to know where your counties are. It is a matter of safety because if a warning gets issued, you don't know where your county is, you're not going to be able to seek shelter. You're probably not even going to listen to it because you're not going to know if you're impacted or not. And that could be potentially dangerous, right? So make sure that you know your counties. We have this up on our Facebook if you want to go check that out. But you got to make sure you know your counties over the next 2 days, guys, okay? So let's talk about this. And first of all, I appreciate y'all for sharing this earlier on. This came out at 11:30. We got it out quick. I appreciate y'all for getting this out. So this is the tornado threat for tonight. I'm stressing this right now because I know a lot of people, they hear that word tornado and it just sends their anxiety through the roof. I want to make this clear. This is not a 100% guarantee that someone in that green area is going to see a tornado tonight. the conditions are favorable for the potential of a brief, quick spin up. But I'm not expecting this to be like a significant tornado threat because there's a lot of bust potential with this setup here. But it is conditional enough for SBC to be like, okay, let's put this risk out. Let's see what happens. We'll go from there. Now, large hail will probably be the primary risk for tonight because we still have a lot of cold air aloft to kind of work out before the main system gets here tomorrow. But there is that isolated tornado threat I'm going to talk to you guys about. So that's going to be from Waldron to Mena, over to the Metro, down to Hot Springs, Arkadelphia, Stuttgart, Pine Bluff, over to the Queen. That timing is going to be 10 p.m. tonight through 6 a.m. And I want to make this clear. It's not going to be every single person that's going to see the storms here. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that. I don't know why I have 5 p.m. It should have been 6 p.m. across the board. Now, let's talk about tomorrow here, and I promise you I'm going to get to your questions just a little bit. Just be patient with me. Let's talk about tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's threat has shifted a lot over the last couple of days. Remember back last weekend, everyone was talking about the snow potential. I also saw some comments about, we were calling for it. We never called for snow here. I said that North Arkansas had the potential in the higher elevations, but we never said that this was going to be a massive snow event for North and Central Arkansas. Now we're shifting our attention over to severe weather for tomorrow. So that yellow area from Little Rock to El Dorado to West Memphis, that area, I think that's the best shot of seeing severe weather for tomorrow. Model guidance has been literally all over the place in terms of timing. What's the front going to do? Is the front going to stall out? Is it going to push through fast? There's a lot of uncertainty right now going into tomorrow here. But in that yellow corridor is where I think it's going to be the best shot of seeing severe weather. That green area, to be honest with you guys, if the front of boundary gets here fast enough, I think you guys are going to be fine. That green area may carry on from tonight's event into tomorrow morning here. But that yellow area from east central Arkansas down into southern Arkansas here, that is going to be the area of concern as we get towards tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening as the main system pushes through. So I wanted to make that clear because I know a lot of people have been asking about timing, etc. Right now, the timing, I'm looking for 12 p.m. to 8 o'clock tomorrow evening. This could be a lot faster or it could be a little slower here. We're going to be here all day tomorrow. We're going to have that live continuous coverage starting tomorrow morning, so you guys don't have to worry about that. But all risks are on the table. The tornado risk, damaging wind risk, and a large hail risk across the board, okay? Let's break it down. So let's talk about the tornado risk. Tornado risk, the yellow area, the low area stretches from Blytheville to Stuttgart all the way down to El Dorado to just to the east of Texarkana. If there were to be any sort of tornado threat tomorrow, depending on where the front of boundary stalls out, the yellow area is going to be the best shot. Now, the green area, do not let your guard down because if that front of boundary stalls further to the northwest or something happens tomorrow, you guys may have that potential for tornado as well here. But I want to make this clear. This is not going to be a tornado outbreak tomorrow. I want to make that perfectly clear. This is not going to be a tornado outbreak. All modes of severe weather are on the table. Damaging winds, large hail, and the potential of a few tornadoes as we get towards tomorrow. Let's talk about the damaging wind risk as well. Yellow area, once again, from east central Arkansas down to southern Arkansas. I think that's going to be the best shot of seeing severe weather as we get towards tomorrow here. So anyone in that green area, I still want you to have that guard up. Don't let your guard down just because you're not in the yellow zone. But you do have a quote unquote lower risk for severe weather versus east central and southern Arkansas because there's still a lot of uncertainty on when the front of boundary is going to come through. Is it going to stall out? How fast it's going to be? There's just a lot of questions that are going into tomorrow at this point here, okay? Large hail, same thing. I think the large hail threat is going to be one of the dominant modes as we get towards tomorrow, especially if we start getting those supercells. And I'll show you futurecast coming up here in just a little bit, okay? So I'm going to leave it right here because I have a lot of questions that I still need to get to. This is the timing for tomorrow. Now, northwest Arkansas, you're going to clear out fast. I think by tonight, you're going to have that round, and then you're going to be done. It's going to be an in and out situation for northwest Arkansas. We're going to be good. Central and South Arkansas, especially South Arkansas, I think you guys have the best shot of seeing severe weather out of anyone in the entire state. 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. from west central to northeastern Arkansas, and then 4 to 9 p.m. across southern Arkansas and the eastern Arkansas. This timing is going to change a lot over the next 12 hours. I want to make that clear. If the frontal boundary speeds up, not much of a severe threat. If it slows down, you could be potentially talk about an increased severe weather threat. So something that we're going to monitor at this point here. Okay, so Dustin, good comment. He's one of our forecasters. Be prepared, stay calm, take all those warnings seriously. Let me see if I can get you up on our comments over here. There we go. So make sure you do that, guys. This question I get a lot. We're not the weather service. We do not control on when they're going to put a watch out, who they're going to put a watch out for, and what type of watch. We do not control that. So when they put it out, that's when we know. All we do is just report the watches out. We don't put them out or anything like that here. But I can see, depending on what happens tomorrow morning. This is similar to what happened last month, where we had that warm front situation and we had to wait to that morning of to kind of figure out what kind of severe weather threat we were having. Similar case with this one, but it's not a warm front, it's a cold front, because this is divided into two different pieces of energy. Instead of one big old storm, it's divided into two pieces of energy. So one's coming through tonight, the other's going to come through tomorrow. Where does that boundary stall out? That's the biggest question over the next 12 hours here, is where does that boundary stall out? That's going to be the biggest thing to kind of prepare for, okay? So, Christopher, yeah, in a way, I still want you to let your guard, not let your guard up, excuse me. I still want you to have your guard up tonight, because there is an isolated severe threat up there, but I think the frontal boundary is going to just blitz through you guys really quick. So you should be fine tomorrow. Now, if this frontal boundary slows down, or anything occurs tomorrow, then that timing can easily come back to the northwest. But for right now, I think you guys are going to be good up there. There could be some isolated severe storms tonight, but other than that, you should be A-okay up there at this point. So Russellville, tomorrow is going to be 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. Tonight is going to be 10 p.m. to about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I want to make this clear as well. This is not going to be a widespread event. It's not like, March 31st where every single person saw severe weather. This is more of an isolated case. This is more of a supercell could develop here while somebody else about 50 miles south could be completely dry. So keep that in mind. That's going to be an isolated event. Yes, you do need to have your guard up during that time, but don't think it's going to be like a widespread, moderate risk plus event. This is going to be a low-end tornado threat that we're going to have to monitor for whoever sees that supercell. As a matter of fact, I do believe, let me see if I can get this up over here. Yeah, there's the Futurecast. I'm going to let that loop through so you guys kind of see what to expect across the board. Dustin, thank you so much for getting the questions, by the way. And let me see. I'm going to go over here. Dustin, no. Asking for the blizzard. We're not expecting any of that. As a matter of fact, the air mass behind us, it's not that terribly cold, guys. It's going to be temperatures near normal across the board. So, yeah, so that 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. is where I'm expecting that time frame, Stacy. Now, there's a lot of questions about what does the frontal boundary do, where is it going to stall out, etc. You can go from every piece of model data, and it has a different solution. Like the HR gets the frontal boundary out quick, while the NAM kind of hangs on to it a little bit more. So this is going to be a situation, I know you guys are going to hate me for this, it's going to be a situation where we're going to have to wake up tomorrow morning, see where the boundary is, and play that card from there. I hate forecasting like that, but sometimes you do have events that kind of forces your hand to kind of do that, because there's just so much uncertainty at this point, okay? So let me see here. So what does that light gray zone just indicate? Basically, it's just timing. The colors on the map is just timing. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing I want to stress. Those timing maps, the colors, does not mean a thing except for the timing zone. So that's all that means at this point. Okay, so Sherry, great comment. Just be prepared. Don't be scared. That's the biggest thing I want to stress. Right now, like I mentioned before, this is not going to be a March 31st repeat. This is not going to be a moderate risk plus where every single person saw severe weather. This is going to be an isolated event, as you see on your map right now. Kind of looking at, let's take a look at Futurecast just a minute. You can see about 11 o'clock, you've got some supercells going, and I'm thinking off the top of my head, those are hailers. However, you have that environment in place, especially south of the warm front, where you could see an isolated tornado potential kind of develop. We're going to monitor it. If we have to be live during the overnight hours, I guarantee you we're going to be here. We're going to be here if it's 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, wherever. We're going to be here if there's any warnings issued overnight. So my advice would be, make sure you have your phones on, the notifications on, and kind of monitor situations during the overnight hours. That's the biggest thing I want to stress. Kind of monitor during the overnight hours, and then we'll go from there. If nothing happens, great. If something does happen, we'll be here for it, guys. Okay, so Mississippi County, I don't think you're going to see much until you can see about tomorrow afternoon here. This round that's coming through tonight is mainly going to impact the Fort Smith area from Russellville to Little Rock over to Pine Bluff down into southwestern Arkansas. Like I mentioned before, folks, I know that marginal risk is there, but that doesn't guarantee that every single person in that risk is going to see severe weather. It's just that general zone has that confidence that if a supercell were to develop, go surface-based, that's where you're going to have that severe weather potential, and immediately going towards large hail, especially if it's north of the warm front. But if it's south of the warm front, we will have to watch it for that tornado right here. And that warm front will push northward as we get towards tomorrow here. Okay, so let me see here. So this is basically, Haley, this is what you're looking at. This is tonight's radar. This is the future cast that you guys are seeing on the board right now. This is what we're looking at. So tonight, some scattered supercells will be possible. That's going to quickly move to the east, and wherever that boundary sets up tonight is where you're going to have that severe weather potential as we get towards tomorrow, wherever it sets up. If it gets out of here quick, then tomorrow morning I'll be here and I'll tell you guys it's an all clear. Don't worry about it and carry on with your day. But if that boundary kind of sets up near central Arkansas or in southern Arkansas, we're going to have to watch it as we get towards tomorrow here. Okay, so let me see here. Good question. It just depends. If you get one of those supercells that kind of track over Little Rock or something like that, we could have some flights delayed. That's actually a really good question, but it's not going to be a widespread event. This is not going to be like, every single person is going to see severe weather like it would be with a squall line or something. This is going to be those isolated pop-up storms that are going to develop. And like I said, 50 miles away from it, you may be completely clear while someone else 50 miles to the south is dealing with that storm. So that's kind of how tonight's going to be. It's not going to be every single person in Arkansas is going to see severe weather. Kind of like tomorrow. It's not going to be like every single person is going to see severe weather. It's just wherever those severe storms develop, that's who it's going to impact. Some places tomorrow may not even see a drop of rain. That's how scattered this event is going to be as we get towards tomorrow. So let me see here. Just going over everything right now. So Polk County, PLLK, by the way, that's Mina. We'll watch you guys tonight. It just depends on what happens. It just depends on what happens tonight with those isolated cells. Like I said before, it's so hard to kind of forecast on who's going to see it and who's not. You could be 50 miles away from the storm. You may not even see anything while somebody else could be dealing with, the thunderstorm. So that's kind of an isolated event tonight. Tomorrow's a little bit more widespread, but it's not like every single person's going to see it, if that makes sense. So biggest thing is I want everyone to make sure this too. It's okay to have anxiety. You got to remember, folks, March, April, it was rough. And even into the early summer, it was rough. We had a lot of damaging wind events. We had that significant large hail event back in June. 2023 has been rough for severe weather for us here in Arkansas. So naturally, every event we have, even if it's a marginal, you're going to have that anxiety because of what happened back in the past. So don't go judging anyone just because they have that. It's fine. That's why we're here. Because, like I said before, it's been a rough year for us here in Arkansas. March 31st rocked a lot of people's worlds. Now, I want to make that clear. And we had that, like I said, back in June and all that severe weather we had earlier this year. It's natural. So it's okay. We're here. That's why we're here. And that's why we keep you guys updated on situations like this here. So, Allison, really good question. Right now, pending on our FutureCast model, I will bet and say, yeah, there will probably be some kind of delays at this point. But other model guidance right now is like, okay, we might not even see anything, or the frontal boundary is too fast, or it's too slow. This is something that it's called a nowcast situation, and if one of my forecasters, how I forecast. I hate nowcast situations because it gets to that point where your hand is just forced, and you have to wait on timing maps. You have to wait on getting the accurate information out because everything is just all over the place. So right now we're kind of in that situation where, we have to see where that front boundary is going to end up first thing tomorrow morning, and we'll go from there at this point. So Dustin, one of our forecasters, great point. Storm modes have changed a lot. You've gone from a damaging wind event to a supercell event, then back to a damaging wind event, then back to a supercell event. It's just a lot of model guidance right now. It's like just shooting in the dark, if that makes sense. Like one has one solution, the other has another solution. So something that we're going to monitor overnight and into first thing tomorrow morning, and hopefully we have a good idea by the time we get towards tomorrow. Jennifer, I want to make this clear. No, I'm not expecting a lot of tornado warnings to be issued tonight. If there are any tornado warnings tonight, I want everyone's guard to be up, but this is not a moderate risk plus. This is a low-end marginal risk that if we see one, great, we're going to be here. We're going to be on standby all night, but this is not going to be a tornado outbreak overnight. I want to make that clear at this point. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, Kelly, to that question. Just leave your phone on. Don't let your phone be off or anything like that. Have a way to be woken up just in case something happens. Initially, just looking at the Futurecast, I see this being a large hail threat. Just looking at it. But I want to see where the warm front is. Can these storms become what's called surface based? Basically, you get rid of all that cold air at the low levels and you start warming things up. I want to see if they become surface based. And if we start talking surface-based storms, then you may talk a tornado potential. But right now, there's just a lot of questions at this point. That's why we don't have a slight risk right now. That's why we don't have a slight risk, because there's so much uncertainty kind of going over everything in terms of tonight. We have that slight risk tomorrow, but we do not have one for tonight at this point. Okay, so let me see here. Lisa, yeah, so basically right now for that Conway area, we're going to watch it. Like I said before, this is an isolated event. I wish I can give you guys a pinpoint, hour by hour, minute by minute timing on who's going to see the storms or not. Right now, it's so much as where does the storm develop, who gets it, and we go from there. It's a very isolated event. It's not a widespread, significant, severe weather event. It's more of who sees severe storms and who doesn't. That's what a marginal risk kind of stands for. It's an isolated event. So we'll keep you updated. If something happens, we'll let you know. But the biggest advice I have for you guys tonight, if you're listening to this, have your phones on. That's the biggest advice I can give you at this point, is to have your phones on. Something happens, you're awake. If something doesn't happen, you're good. And just carry on with your night, and then we'll talk about tomorrow when it gets here. So let me see here. Yeah, so if it's gonna be that late, 5 to 6:30, I think you're gonna be good. Don't hold me to that. Please do not hold me to that, because my luck is I tell you that, and then I get to first thing tomorrow morning. Cold front hasn't even gotten out of the northwest Arkansas, and we're dealing with this threat to like 8-9 o'clock tomorrow evening. So don't hold me to that right now. But right now, just preliminary. Everything gets it out of here by that 5-6 o'clock time frame tomorrow evening, so you can see on our Futurecast. So that's something that we'll just have to watch. But right now, I just can't give you a solid answer. Heather, thank you so much for that comment. It really means a lot to us. Biggest thing I want to stress: do not rely on outdoor sirens. Do not rely on those. They are meant for anyone that happen to be outside. Don't rely on them if you're in the house, because kind of like in the weather center with March 31st, I barely heard the tornado sirens. We had the phones here, we had our alert stuff in the background, but I barely heard the sirens go off here in Little Rock. So right now, it's not safe to listen to those sirens here. But she says she does live outside, so you depend on the notifications, and that's great. YouTube has a better notifications versus Facebook, so if you haven't gone and subscribed on YouTube, go take care of that and make sure you hit that bell, and it will alert you anytime we're live or anything like that. Okay, so Taylor, this is a really, 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 really good question, and I'm gonna shoot in the dark and say it's probably Dan Scoff. He's one of my great meteorologists up there in northwestern Arkansas. He does a great job up there. I can see one being issued for tonight. I can definitely see a tornado watch going out. But what SPC is going to do, they're going to sit here and they're doing what we're doing. We're going to sit and watch radar, and the first storm that looks like it's trying to develop, or they have a better idea on where it's going to develop, they're going to put one out. So if that does happen, obviously, we're going to be here. We're going to keep you guys updated. But that is something that I think it will be the possibility. I think if it does happen, it's probably going to go from West Central to Central Arkansas to kind of, and I'm going to stop this right here so you guys kind of see Futurecast. I think it's going a little fast for everybody. So let me go back to, let's go here, and bear with for just a second. So I'm going to stop it right here at 11 o'clock. You see these little showers that are trying to get going near the Russellville area, down here near Hot Springs and stuff. Those are supercells that we're going to have to monitor. So if there were to be any kind of watch that were to be issued tonight, it's probably going to be late. It's probably going to be a late evening, overnight threat where SBC is looking at it and they're like, okay, let's go ahead and get that watch out, and then boom. So we'll watch it closely here. But yeah, I agree. I think that is a big possibility for tonight, especially with the environment we have in place. Also, if you haven't joined our Discord, I don't know why I'm stirring my words. If you haven't joined our Discord already, go check it out. We have a lot of moderators on there that will able to get you a faster response than we can on Facebook and YouTube, because obviously on Facebook we have a lot of people that have questions at once. So on Discord we're able to kind of break it down, get with you guys kind of one-on-one, and go from there. So the invite link is in the description below. Thank you guys for putting that in. And let me see here. So TJ, to answer your question, yes, it's going to be tonight. Kind of 2 rounds. Tonight, overnight tonight, into the first part of your Saturday morning. And then we're going to have to watch tomorrow afternoon. A lot of uncertainty goes into tomorrow at this point. So I'm going to loop Futurecast through so you guys kind of see what's going on with that here. So yeah, Dustin, great. Thank you for answering that comment. Sherry, this means a lot to me because I grew up in El Dorado. I'm glad we have people in El Dorado that listen to me and listen to the page and get those accurate weather information down there. Because when I was growing up, El Dorado, you barely had any kind of weather coverage down there. And I'm pretty sure that still remains the case even to this day. You barely have anything down there. So it means a lot to me that we have people from El Dorado that are listening in and getting the information here. So, someone in the comments, one of my moderators, take care of that comment from Lisa. She's asking for the YouTube link. Let me see here. Just going over everything. Yeah, I need it to rain. I know. So that's how it won't rain. I don't know if you guys in a drought up there in Northwest Arkansas. I know you guys haven't seen a lot of rainfall up there. I know it's been mainly central and southern and southwest Arkansas. I'm just now thinking about that. You guys haven't seen a ton of rainfall up there in northwestern Arkansas, at least over the last couple of events. So Danielle, driving from Heber Springs tomorrow to Hot Springs at 4 a.m. Right now, I'm gonna pause it. As a matter of fact, that was almost perfect timing because the Futurecast was right at 4 a.m. So give me just a second. I'm gonna pause about right here at 4 a.m. So you're coming from Heber Springs to the Hot Springs area here. So basically, right now, we'll have to wait and see. I think you may run into some thunderstorms. Just depends on what happens with the overall radar. Just monitor the page. If we're live at 4 a.m., then you know what's going on. But right now, I think your travel is 50-50. I think you're going to be good. Just monitor the radar and monitor our page overnight just to make sure you're not running into any strong thunderstorms or anything like that on your travel. So, let me see here. Yeah, Southeast Arkansas. You guys down there tomorrow, I think personally will have the best shot of seeing severe weather. Now, whatever happens with the cold front is going to determine if you guys get upgraded to an enhanced risk or not. I've been talking about that in the evening outlooks, that you guys may have that potential of being upgraded to an enhanced risk. We'll have to see. If the cold front's faster, obviously it's going to be Mississippi and Alabama. However, if the cold front is slower, then it could include portions of Southeast Arkansas. And I know you guys down there, every single event, even we were talking about snow back this weekend, you guys are still in this severe weather. You guys, it takes a lot for you guys not to see severe weather down there tonight here. So Danielle, you're welcome. I don't mind it. If you have any more questions, please PM us on Facebook at this point. So let's see, Tracy, time for Central Arkansas, I'm thinking it's probably going to be around 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So if You're monitoring this right now. I'm thinking it's probably about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So it's going to be loud. And also, one more thing. If you have any storms that come over your area tonight, they're going to be very, very, very loud. We have a lot of what's called a loft instability. That has to come down. Plus, with the surface instability, it's going to be very loud tonight for those that see those thunderstorms here. So I'm going to let this loop through so you guys kind of see what's going on. But right now, I'm thinking it's probably going to be about 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning in central Arkansas where to see any severe weather here. So do I expect any tornado watches? Tornado watches will be possible tonight, overnight. I can't predict if there's going to be any tornado warnings. So, like I said, I love you guys. Thank y'all for having that confidence and thinking we put those watches and warnings out, but we don't. All we do is just report. So, let me see here. I will be duck hunting at 5:30 in the morning, 25 miles south of Jonesboro. What can I expect? Probably some thunderstorms, to be honest with you. And the Futurecast kind of supports that. It has some thunderstorm activity for you guys in the morning here. So kind of monitor that. Could they be severe? It depends on where the warm front is by that point. We'll let you guys know. But there could be some storms up there and around that Jonesboro area by the time we get towards near daybreak tomorrow morning here. So no burn ban, bait spill, but you guys had a wild grass. There's a lot of grass fires up there right now. So yeah, we desperately need. I guess you guys still need a rainfall up there in North Arkansas. We don't have any burn bans right now here, but that doesn't mean anything. We still have that wildfire danger. So hopefully we take care of that over the next couple of weeks. So let me see here. I'm late. The timing for northeastern Arkansas. Let me see if I can go back to that graphic here. Just give me just 1 second. Stand by. And we're going to see if we can get that timing up. I'm going to go over that just a little bit, by the way. But this is going to be the timing. I back this up so you guys kind of see the timing for tonight. So there we go. So I don't have you guys in northeast Arkansas right now. I think probably after this live stream, I may refine this timing map and go from there to probably include northeastern Arkansas. But right now, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. will be the time frame for you guys up there in northeastern Arkansas at this point here. Okay, so let me see here. So the red on the radar is just showing the strong thunderstorms. Those just regular. Some of them could be strong to severe, but it's not really showing the tornado potential here, guys. Like I said before, predicting who's going to get hit or where it's going to occur is impossible. The only thing that we can do is tell you guys that the potential is there, and you guys stay aware. And if any warnings were to occur, we'll be here. But I can't sit here and predict, who's going to see a tornado tonight or who's going to see severe weather. That's just almost impossible. But I can tell you that the environment does support the large hail threat and that isolated tornado threat as we get towards the night here. Okay, so timing for BB up there, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is going to be your timing for tonight here. So let me see here. Caitlin, answer your question. 9 in the morning, I think you're going to be good. I think you guys are going to be good down there in Magnolia 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. This round tonight is going to race to the northeast very, very quickly. Thank you for reminding me about that too. Storm motions tonight, probably going to be 50 to 60 miles per hour. These storms are going to be, once they develop, they're going to race northeast very, very quickly. So the warning does get issued. Don't mess around or anything like that. I almost made a pun, but we're not going to talk about that. But don't mess around or anything like that. Let's take shelter. If anything occurs tonight, we'll be here. Okay, so let me see here. To answer your question, yeah, I know. Like I said, I grew up down there, and you guys don't have a lot of coverage down there in South Arkansas. That's why I'm glad we covered the entire state. That's why I'm grateful to be sitting in this chair right now, giving you guys these updates, especially for my folks down there in South Arkansas, because you guys don't have it. Don't have the weather coverage down there. And I think North Arkansas kind of suffers the same fate too, because you guys are on the northern end. You guys have barely any weather coverage up there as well. So I'm glad I covered the entire state here. So North Central Arkansas, yes. Large hail. The large hail risk is mainly up there. The tornado risk, let's go back to that real quick. Let's go over to that tornado threat real quick. So the tornado threat's not including North Arkansas. It's including West Central into Central Arkansas at this point. But North Arkansas, you could still see some large hail up there as we get towards the night here. So let me go back to the timing map real quick so you guys kind of see what's going on. Yeah, and that's the biggest thing. We leave nobody out. Border to border, we don't leave anyone out. We cover the entire state of Arkansas, the smaller cities, to the bigger cities. We cover the entire state of Arkansas at this point. So the Carlisle area. So to answer your question, Lisa, it's going to be probably about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm thinking you guys, if there were to be any storms to develop tonight, it's going to be about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning for you guys here. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do over here on the side is kind of pull up some new data to kind of see what they're wanting to do with this. So just kind of stand by with me for just a little bit. I'm going to kind of mess around over here and see what the new data is wanting to do. So while that's loading up here. So Cameron, to answer your question, there could be some damaging winds tonight. I think probably 40 to 50 mile per hour winds will be possible. This is going to be mainly, if there were to be supercells to develop, it's going to be mainly a tornado and hail threat. I don't see this being a lot of a damaging wind threat. Now, tomorrow may be a different story for our folks over there in eastern Arkansas for the damaging wind threat. But tonight, it's mainly going to be a large hail and that low-end tornado threat to kind of monitor for tonight here. So, Barbie, if you can tell me where you're coming from on your trip to New Orleans, I'd be able to answer your question better at this point. So if you can let me another comment for that, I'll take care of it. So the Ebony time frame, that's down there in southwestern Arkansas. 10 p.m., 6 a.m. is going to be your time frame for tonight here. Okay, so let me see here. So yeah, thank you so much, Kelly, for that. We do have that app. There's going to be an update with the app probably within the next week or so. We're still testing everything out, kind of making sure that everything is good before we release it out to the public. But there's going to be a massive update coming with it within the next week or two. So that's something that we're very excited about, and it's going to help you guys a lot, especially in situations like this here. So let me see here. So yeah, so Jen, to answer your question, don't take that radar and take it as 100%. Granted, it's going to happen 100%. It's not going to be like that. You're going to have some differentials between what model guidance is wanting to do and what real-time radar is wanting to do. So to say that, like, okay, you have that risk, you're on the table for that 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. time frame, just around that time frame, be weather aware. This is going to require most of Arkansas to probably pull an all-nighter. It's Friday night and Saturday, so it's a little bit more reasonable unless you have to work tomorrow morning. But we do have that risk from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. So if you see that futurecast I put up a second ago, it gives you an idea on what to expect. But it's not an overall 100% timing on when it's going to actually occur here. You may see it faster, you may see it slower. So let me see here. Let me go over that. So let me see here. Heber Springs. So Kay, to answer your question about when, you guys, let me check into that. I want to say you guys are in. So you guys are in slight risk for tomorrow. Let's take a look at that tornado threat. So you are in that low, I was figuring that. You guys are in that, what's called that 5% low risk for tomorrow. We will have to wait and see what happens. I will definitely let you guys know if there's any sort of tornadic activity headed your way for tomorrow. Like I said, we're going to have that continuous live stream starting tomorrow morning. It's going to go through the entire event. Once the event's over, we'll cancel it. But right now, you are in that tornado risk for tomorrow here. So have that guard up. You know, this is not going to be March 31st, how that went down with the high risk and stuff over there. But even though it's a slight risk, still have your guard up for tomorrow. Timing right now for you guys over there in wind, if I can get that timing map up, it's going to be right. I have you right on that line, but let's just go with 2 to 7 p.m. right now in the wind area here. Okay, so let me see here. Star City, that's in southeastern Arkansas. Your timing tomorrow, 4 p.m., 9 p.m. Tonight, you should be fine. Don't hold me to it, but you should be fine tonight. But right now, I'm not really expecting anything down there tonight. But tomorrow is where we're going to have that threat here. So I want to address this one because I've had a lot of questions about that. When will it be just winter? Well, if you've looked at our winter outlook, I told you guys December was going to feature a lot of severe weather, winter weather, severe weather, winter weather. So right now, we're dealing with the above normal temperatures and this severe threat. I think by the time we get into January, February, that time frame, we'll start talking a little more about cold air and winter weather, stuff like that here. But if you guys haven't checked it out already, go check out our winter outlook. It's on YouTube. And if you need that readable file, just send us a message, and we'll get you guys taken care of if you guys want to know at this point here. Okay, so, yeah, Chandler, He's our assistant on the page. If there's any update to timing or any severe storms, we will definitely let you guys know. We will be the first ones on top of it if there were to be any severe thunderstorms tonight here. Okay, so I've seen updates for tonight and tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. Thursday mean there could be a break in the morning. Great analysis, great awareness. Yes, there could be a break first thing tomorrow morning after the first round moves through. That is what we are sitting here trying to figure out. What's going to happen with the cold front? Where does this cold front stall out? That is going to be the question for tomorrow. But yes, there is a break in the severe weather potential tomorrow. You have from basically, I'd say 8 a.m. tomorrow morning to about 1 p.m. tomorrow afternoon for that break. You can get some sunshine to get going. There could be some cloud breaks. Where is that boundary going to stall out? I'm going to have that answer for you guys first thing tomorrow morning once we're able to kind of look at real-time data. But really solid question. Let me see here. So, thoughts on Pine Bluff for tonight? We'll see. I want to see where the supercells warning to develop for tonight. I'm going to take a look at that. Thank you for reminding me. I want to see what guidance is wanting to do for tonight here. So, the latest data does have some supercells tonight. Let's take this out all the way to about 8 o'clock in the morning here. And there could be some supercells over here tomorrow morning over there in eastern Arkansas. So we'll watch it. I do not think the HR is handling this well. For some reason, I just don't believe the HR is handling this well. So we'll see by the time we get into the morning. Let me go to the dew points real quick. And yeah, I don't think it's handling it well. At least right now here. So it's wanting to get this out pretty quick. If that happens, then we'll take it. But right now, I don't buy the HR right now. I just don't. I think it's a little bit too progressive. And we'll just have to wait and see as we get towards tomorrow here. So let me see if I can go over to the surface cape. Yeah, so we'll watch it tomorrow. But right now, I don't buy how fast it is at this point. Okay, so yeah, Tina, that's a really great comment. I feel like winter keeps leaving the house but turning around to go back because they forgot their keys. I promise you guys, if once we get into January and February, you're going to experience winter. This winter is more of a what's called a backloaded winter where we don't see anything until it's like mid to late season. We don't see anything early on. We see everything towards the end. That kind of what year does that remind me of? No, 2009 wasn't like that. This was kind of like how 21 went, because 21 was like that as well, where you had severe weather that December, and then you got into January and into February, and you start talking more about winter weather. So just be patient. I know you guys are wanting that winter weather and the cold right now, but I think it's going to be more of a January, February threat versus a December threat at this point. So, flying out from Memphis at 6:30 tomorrow morning. Where are you headed? Because I'd be able to answer that question. I'd be able to answer that question a lot better if I knew where you were going. But if you're flying out of Memphis tomorrow, if you're going to be in a state, you should be fine. But if you're heading elsewhere, you should be good. But if you're heading east, I want to give you a heads up. If you are planning to go like to Tennessee or Mississippi or Alabama, you will run into that severe threat tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening here. So I want to give you a heads up about that here. Okay, so yeah, I hate doing that, putting people right on the line, but sometimes I don't have a better way around that. So you're kind of on, if you're like right there on that line, it's probably going to be 3 o'clock. We'll call it 3 o'clock to 8 o'clock if you're right along the line. Northwest Arkansas, you're all clear right now here for tomorrow, but we'll keep an eye on it. Okay, so I'm going to be going to Cabot at 12:30, not coming home till 1:30. Are you talking about late tonight or during the day tomorrow here? Will North Little Rock be good? We'll have to see. Right now, it just depends on what happens tomorrow. I don't know if guidance is mishandling this or it's just very, very, very progressive. We'll see. We're going to get to tomorrow morning, and I will be able to kind of go from there. Dustin, DHR is likely assuming that tonight's front will neutralize tomorrow's threat. What I'm thinking what's going on with the HR, I think the HR is a little too fast. I think it's getting the front boundary in and out and gone way too quick, because what's going on, you have two pieces of energy. One's coming through tonight. Once that energy leaves, and the timing of that's going to be important, because if it gets out of here quicker than expected, it's going to put a boundary probably somewhere near central Arkansas. And then that second wave is going to come in, and that's where you're going to have that severe threat tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening. We'll have to see. Right now, I just don't know what's going to happen with that here. That's something I'm going to have to answer first thing tomorrow morning. David, yeah, that this time of the year, for some odd reason, December and January is just notorious for Arkansas for having severe weather and a tornado threat. But I think once we flip the calendar over to 2024 and we start breaking down everything, we start getting more into that winter pattern, we should start seeing more cold air intrusions and more opportunities for winter weather here. But for right now, we're just kind of stuck in this warm pattern here. So I'm currently driving 412 Springdale to Harrison. The wind is just brutal. I know. You've got 25 to 30 mile per hour winds right now, and they're going to continue to ramp up as your main storm system approaches out from the west here. So we're going to go back over to the Futurecast. Give me just a second. There we go. We'll go back over to the Futurecast real quickly here. So Taylor, right now, I'm kind of monitoring radar at this point. Nothing's developed. Timing right now is going to be 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. here. I'm not expecting anything to kind of develop. As a matter of fact, let's pause that for just a little bit. We do have some isolated showers trying to get going. Let me go back over to radar for just a moment. And what I'm going to do here, give me just 1 second. Let me see you guys, so you guys see this a little better. There is some isolated cells that are trying to get going. Let me go back over to the main time frame right now. And what I'm going to do is, give me just 1 second, Rooney. Let me see if I can take care of this. That's going to be this. Okay, so this is current radar as it stands right now. We do have some isolated development that's trying to get going out here towards western Arkansas. The environment right now, let's talk about it. Okay, dew points, upper 50s to low 60s. Let's take a look at your instability. Good amount of instability in place here, guys. So we may be starting this just a little bit early. We're going to watch it right now. But right now, it's just a shower. We'll watch it over the next hour or so and see how things get going here. Okay, so let me see here. So everybody, for specific questions in counties, the timing is going to be 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I cannot sit here and go over specific timing for everyone, because it's gonna be a 8-hour plus live stream if I do that. So the timing right now is 10 p.m. 6 a.m. for tonight, and then for tomorrow we have 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. and then 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. down there in southern Arkansas here. But for right now, we're gonna monitor this. Not severe at this point, just an isolated shower that has developed here, but we're gonna monitor it very, very closely here over the next couple of hours here. Okay, so I'm going to do a recap real quick, and then I'm going to answer any kind of lingering questions, and then we're going to kind of call it quits for tonight. We'll be back live if needed overnight tonight, and tomorrow we're going to be here. I'm probably going to break in probably first thing tomorrow morning if there's any major changes. Otherwise, we're going to have that continuous stream all day so you guys kind of see what's going on, and then we'll break in as needed throughout the day tomorrow here. Okay, so let's see here. I think that's really it for the comments. I'm going to break everything down here. So let's kind of reset everything. For tonight, marginal risk for much of Arkansas. Now, I'm going to make this clear. This is not going to be a March 31st repeat. This is not going to be a tornado outbreak. Not every single person is going to see severe weather for tonight. It is going to be an isolated event. That means someone can see severe weather while somebody else may not even see a drop of rain. That's how tonight's going to work. So timing is going to be 10 p.m. tonight to 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, and then we'll kind of reset and we'll get ready for tomorrow afternoon's event at this point. Okay, tonight's timing, once again, 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. I think this timing stands. I may expand it to the northeast to kind of include Walnut Ridge, the Jonesboro area, up towards the Blytheville area, but 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. is the best timing for right now for majority of the area. And I want to make this clear. Not every single person is going to see severe weather. Not every person is going to get a warning or anything like that. But I want you guys to be aware during the overnight hours here. I want to assure you guys as much as I possibly can that this is not going to be a tornado outbreak tonight. I want to make that perfectly clear. Okay? Now, very important. Very, 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 very important. You got to know where your counties are. You have to. This is not me bashing or, trying to make fun of someone because they don't know. This is a safety thing. This is a safety precaution, because if you get under a warning, you don't know where your county is, you're not going to seek shelter. And if something does happen tonight, then you know what leads after that. So make sure you know your counties. Make sure that if a warning gets out, you know where it is, you know what county it's for, and what counties surround you. It could be, let's take for example Pulaski. Saline, Perry, Faulkner, White, Lone Oak, Jefferson, and Grant counties kind of surround the Pulaski County area. I want you guys to know your surrounding counties and the counties that you're in. That's very, 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 very important. Like I said, don't go bashing anyone just because they don't know what their counties are. So a lot of people that are in the state right now that are coming from other areas because of the holidays. So make sure that they know what county they're in for tonight. Tonight's tornado risk: Mena, Waldron, Russellville, Conway, Little Rock, Arkadelphia, over towards the Queen. That area is going to be something I'm going to watch tonight for that isolated tornado potential. Could this get expanded? I doubt it. I think this area is going to be the best shot of seeing it, but we'll keep an eye on it as we get towards tonight here, okay? For tomorrow, a slight risk from the Queen to Searcy up towards Blytheville area, point south and east from there. Right now, I have timing for you guys mainly after 12 across the board. First round is going to get out of here first thing tomorrow morning, and then we could have some breaks in the sunshine. It could be some, lingering cloud cover, etc. And then we're going to have thunderstorm development as we get towards tomorrow, as your main system kind of pivots through. Here's tomorrow's tornado risk from Walnut Ridge all the way down to the Queen. That's that very low risk area, kind of similar to the night. Do not let your guard down. There could be an isolated tornado even in that green area, but the better confidence is going to be from Blytheville to Blytheville to West Memphis, down to Lake Village to the El Dorado and Magnolia area. I want to make this clear. This is 2 rounds of severe weather. This is not one big old round that's going to last all the way to tomorrow evening. This is broken up into 2 different rounds. You have one tonight that's going to carry tomorrow morning, and then you have a second round that's going to carry from tomorrow afternoon into tomorrow evening. So I want to make that clear. There's 2 different rounds, not just one. There's 2. So let's take this through. Damage and wind risk, same thing. Blytheville all the way down to the Texarkana area. 60 to 70 mile per hour winds will probably be the biggest threat if storms were to form into a line. We're going to keep an eye on that at this point, okay? And then large hail, mainly quarter-size hail. There could be some isolated higher hail sizes. We'll have to watch that closely. But right now I'm thinking from Blytheville all the way down to the Queen, south and east, and then that green area from Mena to Russellville to Walnut Ridge. We're going to watch you guys closely. It just depends on where that that cold front stalls out as we get towards tomorrow. Overall timing for tomorrow: Northwest Arkansas, you're gravy. You're good. You're going to be good to go up there in Northwestern Arkansas tomorrow. Now, from Walnut Ridge to Mena to Little Rock, up towards the Jonesboro, Blytheville, and the Walnut Ridge area, it's going to be 2 p.m. tomorrow afternoon to 7 p.m. I cross my heart. We're going to be here first thing tomorrow morning. We're going to break down everything so you don't have to worry about it. But 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. is your time frame, and then 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. for southern and eastern Arkansas. And as it stands right now, that is the best shot of seeing any kind of severe weather at this point. But do not let your guard down as we get towards tomorrow, okay? I want to talk to you guys about this too, the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning. Tornado watch means conditions are favorable for the potential for a tornado. Tornado warning means get your behind a shelter. Don't sit here and be biased about it because it's radar indicated or anything like that. Don't wait until it touches down. Warning gets issued, you react quick, because these storms tonight, 50 to 60 mile per hour movers, something gets going, you're not going to have a lot of time. So make sure if a warning gets issued, don't be biased just because it's radar indicated. Basically, radar indicated means that we see it on radar and it has the potential of touching down at any moment. So react quick. If it were to happen tonight, tomorrow, same thing. Something happens, react. Okay, so I do fully expect tomorrow will probably be a tornado watch. I think they're probably just going to skip over the severe thunderstorm watch. They're probably just going to go tornado watch tomorrow because your conditions are favorable for that potential. However, if they do go severe thunderstorm watch, Don't be biased severe thunderstorm warnings either. A lot of people, and you'd be surprised, a lot of people ignore severe thunderstorm warnings for tornado warnings. Severe thunderstorm warnings sometimes can actually carry an isolated tornado or two. So if a severe thunderstorm warning happens, I want you guys to treat it with the same respect as a tornado warning. Severe thunderstorm watch means conditions are favorable for the potential of severe thunderstorms. A warning means that it is happening or it's about to happen, and make sure that you're in shelter, guys. So that is all I got for you guys this evening. I guarantee you guys it is going to be first thing in the morning. I'm going to see here kind of what we did with the last event where I was live for. We kind of looked and see what the radar looked like, where the boundary is going to be at, and where the best shot of seeing severe weather is going to be. But for right now, that is all I got for you guys this evening. We'll keep you guys updated right here, your source for all things Arkansas weather.